Welcome back to another episode of E-Weekly, your home for campus news. This week we have stories about building closures, students honored during the MLK weekend, and the email regarding the university's budget deficit. Evan Hensley has sports, Alicia Lewis has Eagle Encounters, and we have you in mind. This is E-Weekly.
Welcome back to E-Weekly, Eagles and Connoisseurs of News. This is our second episode of the new year, and we're glad that you're sticking with us. I'm Sarah Poderacki.
And I'm Nina Maria Badalamenti. Hopefully you've stayed true to your New Year's resolutions. It's a little too early to give up on them just yet. But if your resolution has been to watch more of E-Weekly, then you're doing great. Sarah has the news.
Yesterday afternoon, Eastern Michigan's President James Smith issued an email notifying the EMU community that the school has a budget deficit of about $5 million. A budget deficit is when one spends more money than they take in, different from debt, which is money borrowed that accumulates. EMU's fiscal year budget for 2018 was expected to generate 478,000 student credit hours. However, this number needed to be reduced to 470,000 due to decreasing enrollment numbers. Smith stressed in the email that most public universities are facing lower enrollment numbers. In order to mend this deficit, all divisions of the university have been asked to reduce their current fiscal year 18 budgets. Additionally, up to 60 positions will be affected by these adjustments. These changes are due in large part to EMU receiving $10 million less per year from the state than they received 15 years ago. The student credit hours projection is also an 11.6 decline from 4 years ago. Expect changes to be made throughout the campus soon.
In commemoration of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., 4 people were honored at EMU on January 15th for how they illustrate the values and ideas of MLK. Junior Shayna Brunner received the Martin Luther King Jr. Student Scholarship Award. She is a peer advising student fellow and a recruiting and retention student fellow at the Honors College, a UNIV academic peer mentor and success coach at the Holman Success Center, and is the vice president of the Black Honors Student Organization. Shayna uses these roles to endorse, respect, and improve the quality of life of all students. Junior Desmond Robinson received the Evans Strands Diversity Award. He serves at the EMU Women's Resource Center, Upward Bound, and the Active Minds in Diversity and Inclusion Group at Eastern. Desmond plays a key role in uniting EMU's campus through hosting nonviolent protests and events to promote diversity. Sheriff Jerry Clayton and public official Ronnie Peterson received the MLK Humanitarian Awards for the role of justice they play in Washtenaw County. EMU was proud to honor these individuals in celebration of Martin Luther King Day.
On February 10, 2017, the EMU chapter of the American Association of University Professors filed a grievance asserting that Eastern entered into a November 2016 agreement with academic partnerships that violated the provisions of the union's collective bargaining agreement. Academic Partnerships is a leader with public universities which helps expand online programs, but the faculty union was concerned about the deal having a negative effect. On January 10th of this year, an independent arbitrator issued a ruling in favor of EMU, saying that there is insufficient evidence to conclude that the AP service agreement violated those provisions. The union claimed that the agreement was entered without appropriate input from the faculty in regards to curriculum development, personnel, and instruction. The university countered that the contract is a marketing and student recruitment agreement that ultimately leaves teaching control up to the faculty. The arbitrator wrote that ultimately, if AP remains in the marketing, recruitment, and promotion areas, there would not be a contract violation.
January 18th through the 24th, the Women's Resource Center held their Our Voices workshops to help women express their struggles in a safe environment. These workshops were started 4 years ago as a response to the Vagina Monologues. This year's Vagina Monologues will not be held as it has had racist and trans-exclusive language in it previously. The Women's Resource Center does not agree with the notion that the program sends that womanhood is centered on the vagina. They support and represent all those who identify as women. The Our Voices workshops allow all women to share their experiences and their stories to be heard. The final workshop, held on the 24th, was a finale performance. This event included poems, monologues, and other performances that express women's experiences. The program's goal was to promote women's safety. Keep an eye out for more events like these held by the Women's Resource Center.
We've got plenty more news after the break. Don't go too far.
My mom's birthday was coming up fast, so I needed to go out shopping for something quick. I needed to move money from my savings to my checking account so I could use my debit card at the mall. I cracked open my laptop, hit the bookmark from my bank, and entered in my username and password. What the heck? I got sent back to the home page. So I entered in my username and password again, made the transfer, and went to the mall where I found this cool little necklace from my mom. That's good news, right? The bad news is, the next week I went to make a purchase and they told me that I had insufficient funds to cover that purchase. Long story short, when I had logged into my bank the first time, I got redirected to a fake site that stole my username and password. I guess I got a virus that redirected my bookmark. The thieves had a field day with my account. I wish I had known then what I know now. You have to check and make sure you're really on your bank's website. This could be done by either recognizing an image you've selected or clicking a lock or VeriSafe icon and comparing the bank's web address to a web address you've got on our certificate. My name is Luke, and I'm trying to be e-safe.
We are True EMU!
I am True EMU.
We are True EMU.
Welcome back to eWeekly. We have an extra story for everyone this week. Start us off, Sarah.
The McDonald's in the Eastern Plaza Strip Mall on Huron River Drive closed on January 2nd. This sudden closure led to questions from Ypsilanti residents about whether it would reopen or if another business would take its place. This location was one of 3 McDonald's in Ypsilanti and was a popular off-campus fast food choice within walking distance of campus. Not much has been said about the abrupt closure, leaving residents wondering about its cause. Owner Monique Van released a statement wherein she cited the reason for the closure as being business reasons and invited customers to visit the other 2 locations on Ecorse Road and Washtenaw Avenue. Employees from the North Huron River Drive location were offered jobs at other locations in Ypsilanti, and for now, the future of the 1-acre site remains in question.
On January 16th, the EMU Honors College held its first yoga session in collaboration with local yoga facility A2 Yoga to bring a stress-relieving outlet to the students and faculty of Eastern. Diana Sheldon, owner of A2 Yoga, has volunteered her time to instruct a 1-hour-long yoga session every week on Eastern's campus. She uses a specific method of yoga that concentrates on the synchronization of breathing patterns in combination with changes in posture. She begins the class with a period of meditation and then continues to talk the class through gradual progression of yoga poses. Sheldon is an EMU graduate herself and wanted to find a way to give back to the university and its students as she remembers how stressful it can be being a student. The yoga classes will take place every Tuesday evening at the EMU Honors College and is free to all students and faculty.
Just after 8 p.m. on January 16th, Eastern Michigan residents thought they felt and saw everyday thunder and lightning. Confused Michigan natives took to social media because the weather did not quite match up with the phenomenon. 2 hours later, the National Weather Service in Detroit confirmed that the bright blue explosion and ground tremors were not caused by thunder. The culprit was determined to be an estimated 6-foot diameter space rock that broke up while racing at 45,000 kilometers per hour through the atmosphere. The sonic boom created by the meteor shook the ground enough to mimic a magnitude 2.0 earthquake. The flash was reportedly so bright that it was detected by the geostationary lightning mapper, and many pieces of the meteor were large enough to be detected by the Doppler radar. Meteorite hunters began searching for space rocks along the debris trail, and several meteorites have been found. There still may be some left, so if you have some free time this weekend, maybe you can find one too. That'll do it for us here at the news desk with stories. While we keep our search going for someone to do our weekly dish, we'll have Nina go over it this week. Take it away, Nina.
Thank you, Sarah. With Black History Month on the horizon, it's fitting to share some interesting Black history in this week's dish. The Black History Signage Project is currently going on in Ypsilanti to give more of a voice to the underreported history of Black folks in Ypsi. This project aims to inform the public on Black history that had an impact on this great city. One sign that has been completed is the Partridge sign. Partridge homes were built in 1943 and served as homes for the African American community working at the Willow Run bomber plant. The construction of these homes were in response to the lack of adequate housing. While the decision to segregate housing by race was made, Partridge homes were a starting point for many African American families in Ypsi. Partridge was designed by an African American architect, Hilliard Robinson. Robinson was connected to many housing projects around the country due to his connections with the nation's capital. Robinson is known for his work on the Langston Terrace, the first federally funded public housing project in Washington, D.C. He also contributed greatly to the Tuskegee Airfield in Alabama. There were plenty of activities in the Partridge Community Center, including swimming, tennis, baseball, and ice skating. After World War II, Partridge Homes was transferred to the Ypsilanti Housing Commission in order to manage the stock of public housing. Amos Washington was hired after the war as the first African American housing director. Washington managed the development for nearly 20 years until his death in 1967. Partridge Homes are located north of I-94 on Monroe Street in Ypsilanti. That's all for the dish. When we return, Evan Hensley has Eagle Sports.
Hello? I'll be right with you. I'm just looking to charge my phone.
I'm looking for Keeps.
Oh gosh.
What can I do for you?
I got a glimpse into what the future might hold. Yeah, I'm not sure I'm ready for that.
Guess I'm gonna be here a while. People find me when they need me.
I'll be right back, I told myself. I'm just going to grab a quick drink. 2 minutes later, and everything was gone. My backpack, my laptop, my cell phone, my iPod. 2 minutes was all it took. I was lucky. The thief was eventually caught and I got it all back. But now that I had that happen to me, I realized that anything valuable has to be treated like cash. I'll never leave it out of my sight again. My name is Heather, and I'm trying to be safe.
Welcome back. This is Eagle Sports, and I'm Evan Hensley. The Eastern Michigan basketball team dropped yet another home Mid-American Conference game when they hosted the Ohio Bobcats on Saturday. The Cats overcame an Eastern 31-24 halftime deficit to take down the Eagles 72-66 at the Combo. Jordan Dardis of OU was absolutely fire from behind the arc with his 7 three-pointers on only 10 attempts. Dardis led the way for the Bobcats with his 24 points, and 2 steals to help get the big road win. Elijah Minnie was held to 5 points as he sat for the majority of the second half due to defensive issues. James Thompson added yet another double-double to his historic career with 21 points and 14 rebounds. The Eagles are set for a road week with games at Buffalo and Miami through the week. The women's basketball team is on a 3-game win streak after picking up 2 wins last week. The first game took place last Wednesday against Western Michigan at home in a 69-67 win over the Broncos. It took overtime for the Eagles to pull off this win. Daniel Minot led the team with a dominating 29 points, 7 rebounds, and a pair of steals. The Eagles then traveled to DeKalb, Illinois, to face off against the Northern Illinois Huskies on Saturday. The Eagles used a 31-point third quarter to pull away from NIU in an 83-76 road win. Sasha Daly led the way for the Eagles with 19 points and 3 assists to help get a big road win and send the team's overall record back to 500. The Eagles will now set up to play Miami on Wednesday at the Convocation Center. There was more success for EMU against NIU as the wrestling team picked up their first MAC win on the season with a 30-3 blowout win over Northern Illinois. The Eagles got their first win against the Huskies since 2013 on Friday and put their season record at 5-6. The highlight of the night was the lone pin recorded by Sadarian Perry, his first for the year at the 141 class. The Eagles pulled off an upset with Thomas Gutierrez, took down a number 19 ranked wrestler in the 125 class with a 5-3 decision. Other than the lone pin, every match was decided by a decision, which allowed for only one bonus point on the match. The Eagles will get this week off and then host the University of Buffalo next Friday at the Combo for the annual Beauty and the Beast event alongside the gymnastics team. The men's swimming and diving team won their fourth straight against Wayne State on Saturday, 172-101. The Eagles are now 5-1 in duels up until this point, with the lone loss coming against Kentucky back in October. Eastern has not lost to the Warriors since 2006, with this being their 13th win. The women were also in action on Saturday against Wayne State and came away in a 181-111 in a dominating win, alongside the men. The women have a dominating history against the Warriors because they have never lost to them. The women are 6-1 on the season, with their only loss coming against Kentucky. Both teams are set to travel to Miami to face the Redhawks on Saturday. That's been it for Eagle Sports in the month of January. Excuse me. We'll see you next week, and hopefully Rob Murphy still has a job.
What I mean by support is having somebody there every day you can count on, who's going to be there with a smile and a hot meal for you.
First, I would say that I would be with them if I could, delivering for the people.
Observant?
That's a tough one. I would say, well, more than a meal. I guess that's 4, but close enough.
It's helpful. I mean, just the fact that somebody's doing something for you should make you feel better.
Abundance.
Fulfilling is probably the main top one.
They're good.
I think that we are a compassionate organization.
I think it's great. I give it thumbs up.
It keeps us independent.
Yes.
It's the easiest, most fulfilling job I've ever had.
It keeps us independent so we don't have to depend on anybody.
Independence.
Caring and steady and present, like we're present for these people, every day.
Joyful, brings a lot of peace and a lot of happiness to you at the end of the day.
Sharing.
Caring, responsible.
I think vital to the community.
3 words? I think it's great, actually. Not trying to steal from Tony the Tiger, but yeah, it's great.
It teaches you portion control.
Loving the community that they work in, trying to make the community better.
Helpfulness.
Actually, it's fun. Believe it or not, it's really fun and fulfilling to be doing this type of thing.
Patience.
It pulls at your heartstrings, it does. And it doesn't matter whether you're out en route delivering meals or you're in the office on the phone.
Reliable.
Hope. So people feel like they have hope, that they can stay in their home for as long as possible. I think all of us want to be where we're feeling most comfortable.
Hidden, because we don't advertise. You know about the program, yet you don't think about the program.
I think we're out there helping people more than a lot of people even know, so I think it's a very helpful program. I think it's a much needed program that there's a lot of people in our community who just really could use a program like Meals on Wheels that maybe don't even realize that it's there for them.
I got some jeans, I got some shoes, and I got a sweet new hoodie.
Jeans, shoes, a new hoodie.
Some new headphones, and a couple of video games.
video games, and some headphones.
And I didn't pay for a thing.
And I paid for it all. Not to mention, I'm out a brand new laptop because he stole my computer and went on a shopping spree with my money. So now I have all of my usernames and all of my passwords saved in a password management system like KeePass. So if my laptop is stolen, my passwords aren't. My name is Caitlin, and I'm trying to be e-safe.
Thanks for sticking with us here at Eastern Weekly. I'm Nina Maria Badalamenti, and Alicia Lewis is here with Eagle Encounters. Alicia?
Thanks, Nina. I'm Alicia Lewis, and this is Eagle Encounters. I've got everything you need to know about what's going on around campus this weekend, and campus is full of events. Starting tomorrow, Thursday, January 25th, Campus Life presents Comedy Night featuring EMU students. Stop by the Student Center Room 300 for a night full of jokes, fun, and food. Comedy Night goes from 9 at night till 11. Nothing like a good laugh to end the school week. This event is free and open to the public. Also on Thursday, the LGBTQ community will host speed friending with Quest meet and greet in the Student Center from 7 p.m. until 9 p.m. in the Student Center, room 352. This event will consist of fast-paced conversations. Bring a friend and be ready to meet some new ones along the way. Remember, Valentine's Day is coming up, so happy friending to all. On Friday, January 26th, Bridging Our Divides Campus Conference will be held in the Student Center Room 310 from 8:30 p.m. until 12:30 p.m. There will be breakfast and poster presentations followed by a keynote speaker from the Intern Group Relations Program at U of M. They will conclude with a dialogue about where we want to go as a university. Be sure to contact Amy Johnson with further questions at 734-487-0426. This Sunday, there will be an organ recital in Pease Hall. No, this is not a music act done My Heart and Liver, is it in fact against Michael Berghurst, performing great music on the Pease organ. This event goes from 4 to 6 p.m. at Pease Hall. It's free, open to the public, and LBC approved. On Tuesday, January 30th, the EMU basketball team will go to battle against MAC rival Western Michigan. Head over to the Convocational Center for the 7 p.m. tip-off against the Broncos. It'll be glow night that evening. Fans will receive glow-in-the-dark souvenirs while supplies last. It's also two for Tuesdays. You can get 2 tickets, 2 hot dogs, and 2 beverages for only $22. Students can get in free, of course, as always. Don't let the weather fool you this weekend. It'll be warmer, but not really warm. We'll see temperatures around the mid-40s and even reaching 50. Now for us Michiganders, that's kind of hot, but it'll still be wet and January, so be smart. That's all we have for Eagle Encounters today. I hope you all have a fun weekend. My time is up. Thank you for yours. Until next time, I'm Alicia Lewis.
Thank you, Alicia. I don't know if it's more shocking that we're almost through 1 month of 2018 or that it's only been 1 month of 2018. It's already been a long year.
I totally agree, Sarah. We'll be back next week and all the weeks following with updates on news on and around campus.
In the meantime, I strongly urge you to follow us on social media and YouTube at ETV@EMU. I'm not demanding you to, but I guarantee your life will be better if you do it. That's all from the eWeekly desk. Thanks for watching. I'm Sarah Poderacki.
And I'm Nina Maria Badalamenti. We'll see you next week.
Hey Ben, would you like to hear a password joke?